Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Newsbrowse News broadcast. According to a report by Lianhe Xiaobao, the Civil Aviation Authority of Kuwait announced on June 6, 2026, that the country's airspace had resumed normal air traffic operations after being temporarily closed for 2 hours due to safety concerns. The temporary closure was triggered by threats of hostile missiles and drones, which prompted Kuwaiti air defense systems to respond. The tension escalated after Kuwait and Bahrain activated air raid sirens. According to Iranian media, the Islamic Revolutionary Guard Corps, IRGC, claimed responsibility for launching missile attacks against a U.S. airbase in Kuwait and U.S. Fifth Fleet facilities in Bahrain. The IRGC stated that these strikes were in retaliation for recent U.S. airstrikes in parts of Iran. In response to these developments, the U.S. Central Command issued a statement refuting Iran's claims regarding damage to the Fifth Fleet headquarters in Bahrain, calling them completely false. Kuwaiti authorities confirmed that flights were allowed to resume at 6:15 a.m. local time, after coordinating with relevant departments and verifying that the potential threats had been successfully eliminated and the situation had stabilized. According to a report by Liberty Times, Iranian Deputy Foreign Minister Kazem Gharibabadi has warned the International Atomic Energy Agency, IAEA, to stop using its technical reports as tools for political pressure if it wishes to resolve the nuclear issue diplomatically. Gharibabadi argued that the agency's inability to monitor certain Iranian nuclear sites stems from military attacks on these facilities. Rather than Iran's lack of cooperation, he accused the IAEA of creating ambiguity by exploiting the aftermath of U.S. and Israeli airstrikes. Friskish tensions between Tehran and the IAEA have escalated since last June, when U.S. and Israeli forces conducted large-scale bombings of several Iranian nuclear sites. In response to the IAEA's perceived silence on these attacks, Iran suspended its cooperation. Although Iran recently allowed inspectors to visit the Bushehr nuclear plant, it blocked access to verify its enriched uranium stockpiles. Meanwhile, the IAEA has warned that Iran's stockpile of near-weapons-grade uranium poses significant proliferation risks, noting that the threat of Iran secretly developing nuclear weapons is now higher than before the airstrike. According to a report by Taiwan's Liberty Times, Russian President Vladimir Putin avoided giving a direct answer when asked during the St. Petersburg International Economic Forum whether he would run for president again in 2030 and continue ruling until 2036. Putin, who has been in power as either president or prime minister for 27 years since 1999, stated that it is far too early to discuss the matter. He remarked that only God knows whether he or anyone else in the room will be healthy enough to live to see tomorrow or the day after, let alone accomplish long-term future goals. Although he acknowledged that the Russian Constitution allows him to run again in 2030 for another term that could extend his presidency to 2036, Putin emphasized that he has not even thought about it yet. He pointed out that Russia currently faces a multitude of large-scale, pressing issues that require immediate attention, and his primary focus should be on the future of the nation rather than his potential re-election. According to JG Press, Japanese Prime Minister Sanae Takaichi's administration is facing significant challenges following a magazine report alleging that her campaign team posted defamatory videos targeting rivals on social media. The weekly magazine Shukan Bunshun reported that the videos were posted during last year's Liberal Democratic Party presidential election and this year's House of Representatives election. The controversy has intensified with the release of audio recordings allegedly featuring an online meeting between her secretary and the creator of the videos. In response, opposition parties, including the centrist Reform Alliance, are seeking to summon Takaichi's secretary to the Diet for questioning. Prime Minister Takaichi has denied the allegations. During a parliamentary meeting, she expressed skepticism about the audio recordings, noting that the voice purported to be her secretary spoke in an unusually high pitch. When asked by the opposition Constitutional Democratic Party of Japan whether she would formally protest the magazine report, Takaichi stated that she is focused on running the nation and does not have time for such actions. According to a report by Singapore's Lianhe Xiaobao, Iranian Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi has firmly rejected remarks made by Lebanese President Michel Aoun, who accused Tehran of using Lebanon as a bargaining chip in its negotiations with the United States. In an interview with CNN, President Aoun stated that the Lebanese people are paying the price for Iran's interests and have grown tired of the ongoing conflict between Israel and Hezbollah. He argued that Iran's use of Lebanon as leverage in talks with Washington is entirely unacceptable. Responding to these comments on social media platform X, Araghchi dismissed the accusation, stating that if Lebanon were indeed a bargaining chip for Iran, an agreement with the United States would have been reached a long time ago. The Iranian foreign minister then directed a message to the Lebanese leader, advising President Aoun that in order to save Lebanon, he should look toward the country's actual enemy instead. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video.